Hello guys, welcome to the channel. It's Rad. And so we do have a full moon in Scorpio on our hands. It is happening on 23rd, which is today for me. It is today for you. It is tomorrow. So it's happening on 23rd. And it's happening on the 20 to 8 p.m. or 7:49, actually 10 to 8. I'm sorry, 10 to 8 p.m. 7:49. That is Eastern Standard though. And it's happening into the 4th degree and 18th minute into the sign of Scorpio, as per my calendar. And what we're going to do today, obviously, I'm going to do a tarot forecast for that particular time frame, which is, as per my calendar here, from 23rd, let's call it 8 p.m. up until the 7th of May, 11:22 p.m., where the moon will become new in Taurus. So this is a forecast for that particular time frame. It's about a couple of weeks. It's exactly a couple of weeks, give or take a day. And first of all, welcome and good evening, Yasmin, News Devon, Anna, Mattia. Good evening, guys. And so the first thing that is going to be the collective reading. As usual, you can see the cards at the thumbnail. I'm going to show them to you in any case. The first one that I drew, that is the Hierophant. The second card that I drew, that is the King of Wands. And the third card, that is the Three of Cups. So this is how the elemental dignity stands. These three cards. And the primary influence, at least according to my cards of the full moon in Scorpio, is going to shine upon our relationships. Not just only intimate relationships, but any relationships we do believe into, we do have any hope for. And we do see, or rather like a look forward to any development whatsoever. And how the full moon in Scorpio is going to influence into them, well, it's pretty much up to us, okay? Because that is not a given. So basically what the full moon in Scorpio requires in order within these relationships to grow in respect, to grow in trust, and to grow in reliability is to put the needs of the other before ours. That is to say that we should not sacrifice ourselves, okay? And it's, I don't know how to even put it into words. Those are the two cards which are displaying that. Well, with the Three of Cups, it's more stronger, but this does displays, let's put it that way, the sacrifice, okay? And so what these two cards describe, it is a passion, an ambition that needs to be set aside, at least at the moment, in favor of, again, growing trust and growing mutual reliability, growing respect. If we do so, then more or less the vision toward the future with the other side is going to start aligning. Or in other words, we are about to find a common ground with our partners, any kind of partners, business partners, social partners, intimate partners, any kind of partners. But again, it's very, very important that we are more understanding and amicable toward the needs of the other side. But we definitely don't have to be martyrs here, okay? That is the strongest influence of the full moon in Scorpio, at least according to my cards. And the other influence, it's towards the personal growth. I am reading a book series, and there is a line there that describes it very well, and it says journey before destination, which means it's not important that much of, or rather like we are all going to the same destination, and it's not important the destination itself, but how we are going to get there. And so what these cards emphasize on, it is rather the steps and the consecutive results, which happens to be a milestone rather than the grand goal. Because according to these cards, if we do not cheat, okay, if we do care for the job well done rather than being paid well, then the results reciprocal of what we deserve are gonna find us on our own accord. Quick example here: you do your job immaculately, and if you know the company that you are working at is not appreciating that, there is definitely someone that is going to see that, say a competitor, and is going to offer you a job. So the reward is going to find you on your own accord. It's going to find us on our on its own accord, because that is myself included. So that is pretty much the influence of the full moon in Scorpio. And a few notes about the show before I move forward, guys. There are going to be 12 more readings just like this one. One for each star sign. I'm going to start with Aries, and I'm going to run the ecliptic, meaning Aries, and I'm going to end up with a Pisces. And bear in mind that these are going to be readings for your star sign. They are not your personal readings. So take on that information as a guidance, as an information that can open your eyes for more options available in front of you, and information that will allow you to kind of like scope better what is possible and what not, rather than a direct answer to the questions and to the situations that you do have. If you do want my interpretation to be about your personal situations and, you know, about your conundrums, you can always go to my website, which link you will find in the description down below. And there on the very front page, you can see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. Other than that, if you do enjoy the show and you do wish to support us, you can do so using Super Chat here or a PayPal, which link you're going to find as well in the description down below. And any Patreon is going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. Just like Yasmin, thank you for the $20 US. Thank you, Yasmin. News Devon, thank you for the £5. Thank you, News Devon. As well, Mattia, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Mattia. And also Anna, thank you. Thank you, Anna. You do have a specific inquiry, so let me put you guys into the list. Ms. Devon, you also have a specific inquiry. Anna, you're seeing someone, or you just want to know in general? Okay, guys. First star sign that I'm gonna read for, that's gonna be Aries. You can track which star sign I'm reading for of the glyph being displayed on my right hand side, which is there. And general. Okay, Anna. And so first card for Aries, that's gonna be the Hierophant again. The second card, that will be the Six of Cups. And the third one, that is going to be the Devil. It's great. So what happens here, guys, is that throughout the duration of this lunar phase that it is ahead of us, your yearnings are going to align as well with the best way how you can move forward in life, let's put it that way. And so that said, it is that throughout these next couple of weeks, anything that you are going to be part of, okay, will bring you, I don't want to say immense, but let's say a considerable pleasure. The projects that you're working with or that you're working at are going to be something that you will enjoy. The people that you are going to be interacting with are going to be people that you will find appealing and that you are going to enjoy as well. Okay. The tasks that you're going to have ahead of you, even if they are chores, you're going to find a reason and you're going to find a way to enjoy them as well. And that said, next couple of weeks, the potential there is going to be that you can feel a hole, all right? You can feel a hole in your soul, whatever that hole is. For some, it's going to be a big hole. For others, it's going to be a small hole. But the point is that everyone's soul hungers for something. Well, these couple of weeks are the weeks where you do get to satiate that, whether that's love, right? Whether that's money, whether that's, say, I don't know, respect, whether that's power, whatever the case. But again, what is important for you to focus on is the small things in life. So take it bit by bit rather than, I don't know, overstretching yourself. It is the best way how I can describe it, and focus on, you know, the things you do rather than the things you can get. Focus on the job well done rather than the payment at the end of the job, because no matter what, guys, if you do focus on the job well done, whether that's intimate job, whether that's professional job, the reward at the end, the deserved reward at the end that is going to satiate whatever hunger you do have, is going to find you on its own accord. Hello, Jen. Welcome to the stream. Right. Moving next, Taurus. Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and Five of Swords. Hello, Nita. Welcome to the stream. It's a warning, actually, that we have for Taurus, that you can stray off the path, for lack of better expression. All that these cards are saying here, guys, is that you have already made your bet, right? You have already made your choice, whatever the case, and there are some results coming out of this decision or this action that have been recently taken, and so on and so forth. And you may have a second thought of it. Not necessarily to bail out, but maybe thoughts as well that you can I put it into words? You can cheat the system. That is coming from that particular elemental dignity here. Queen of Pentacles with the Knight of Swords, where a person thinks that it is smarter than the situation itself, and it can, you know, kind of like brainstorm his way through. And that's not going to be the case. I mean, it's quite difficult to explain, but yeah, you may accomplish good things. I mean, you may cheat the system, but the system is going to cheat you as well. And while you cheat the system and accomplish certain things out of this cheat, the system is going to cheat you and is going to take away different stuff. Okay. So, and ultimately, it's going to happen that you will shoot yourself in your own foot. Another thing it is that this full moon in Scorpio is going to shine on the relationships in such a way that you are going to grow to understand that eventually you will have to trust someone. And it's pretty much already had been decided whom that is going to be for you. So it's not going to serve you any purpose to stall this process any longer. And whatever bet you made, right, whatever decision you took, whatever actions you have undertaken recently, they will provide with bigger results. You just have to set your jaw, okay, and not stray off them. Whether that's a person that you choose to go out with and now you have second thoughts, whether that's a project you took and now you have second thoughts on it, or you have started a business and you have second thoughts on it, don't, at least not for the next couple of weeks. Try to develop it. There is more in it than you are seeing right now. Right, so that was Taurus. Next, that will be Gemini. Thank you, Anna. King of Pentacles, King of Wands, Judgment. There is a within this full moon, there is a there is going to be a better way how you can spend your resources. There's going to be a better way how you can spend your money. There is going to be a better way how you can spend your attention. There is going to be a better way how you can spend your devotion. There is going to be a better way how you can spend your time. Okay. Uh, and this better way, it's not going to be something secretive. Okay. It's going to happen at different phases for each one of you, Gemini, but at some point you are going to grow to realize that, all right? You're going to grow to realize that it is better to spend time here rather than here. Or there is going to be a better way for you to spend your money for that thing rather than this thing. It's going to come naturally. Now, the problem, though, is going to be how invested you are thus far. Because some of you may find that they're way too invested in order to change heart at that particular point. So, in either case is going to benefit you, right? Whether you change your heart or not, ultimately is going to be a win. The point is how big of a one that's going to be and how relevant this win is going to be for your life. Changing heart, at least according to these cards, is going to provide with a bigger relevance and a bigger win for you all. So that said, guys, make sure that, how can I put it into words? Make sure that you ain't gonna regret your investments later down the path. Taco, thank you for the $55.55. Thank you, Taco. Let me put you into the list. Nita, thank you for the $10. Thank you, Nita. Let me put you into the list as well. All right. So next, Cancer. Temperance. Page of Cups. Three of Cups. All right, guys, no matter what, you are about to do your job. So the full moon in Scorpio is gonna affect you in such a way that you will muster the strength to do your job. And I'm saying that it is because with that Page of Cups and that Three of Cups next to the Temperance, at some point you're gonna have a hard time enduring the presence of certain people around you at work or at your social circle. But also what is going to be clear to you, it is that the benefits are going through these people. What I mean is that you will have to work with them at certain level. And just because, you know, they, or rather like the fact that they are annoying you, for example, or that they are scraping you down your nerves, or that you don't like them and all these kind of things are not going to allow you to screw yourself over just because of that, just because for that reason. And it seems that you are going to be able to do what, not what you want, but how can I put it into words? Well, temperance, it is when no matter what you find your way through, all right? No matter what, you reach the destination. No matter what, you will be able to go through whatever ordeal there unscathed. And the easiest way possible. So as a result, though, what can you expect? Well, these people which you do not see eye to eye at that particular stage, you will continue not seeing eye to eye, but you will now grow respecting each other despite differences, which will provide you with solidarity and compassion that will stream within these interactions. But above everything else, we do have a parable in our country, and it's not gonna sound very well in English, but what we say it is that usually you cannot have the soft spot of the bread and the easy work. It is just they don't go hand to hand together. Well, you can though. You can have it. I know that it doesn't sound very well, but pretty much if you do wanna have a sweet effort, sweet fruits of your labor, then the labor needs to be mighty, and vice versa. If you don't want the fruits to be sweet, then you know you can go lazy. But you can do both. Now you can go with minimum efforts to get a great results, but you will have to endure the presence of these people that kind of have a different views on the matter and on the things. All right, next. That will be Leo. Taco, you are given fentanyl? Wow. Queen of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and Three of Wands. How so, Anna? Well, probably you guys ain't gonna like what I'm about to say to you, but let me finish with Leo and I'm gonna address that, Anna. So again, you Leo probably ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, but according to these cards, whatever the goal right now in front of you, it doesn't look like that you are ready. I mean, what these cards are showing is that you aren't as far as you may think you are in regards to, for example, chasing a job or kind of like being ready for a family or selling your house and whatever the case, okay, whatever the goal right now. And the reason for that, it is that it's these two cards. And the reason for that is that you haven't, what was the word here? Explored. You haven't explored every possible option available in front of you. You do have some biases. Okay, you have some, what was the word? Prejudice. You have prejudice towards certain criterias, type of people, for example. Everybody has that. Or a chain of work, right? A chain of circumstances as well, and so on and so forth. For example, you want to find a place to rent, but that place needs to have at least 2 bedrooms. It needs to be under a certain amount of money. The neighbors needs to be, you know, good in a certain way. For example, you don't like animals and you don't want having neighbors with animals and whatnot. No, these are prejudice. That makes you not ready right now to have what you are toward or you are striving toward. And the full moon in Scorpio is going to make that pretty glaring, all right? And thus, an options available which you aren't considering that right now will become more and more acceptable. Because either they are acceptable or either you have to look past through those prejudices and kind of like break certain criteria of yours. Hello, Curious Fish. Thank you for the 15 Canadian. Of course, you can have a reading. Any Patreon does at the end of the stream. The thing about your inquiry is that you asked me to make a choice for you, and even if I can, I would never do that. Okay? Taking the free will of someone is not something that I will ever do. So at least give me a couple of options. Give me a couple of options so I can tell you how things are going to develop. If you put your work or like you put your energy into the one or the other option, And then you may decide which option you want to go for. All right, so you do have a specific idea and you want to know how things are going to go with that idea. All right, that's fair for the tarot abilities. Input you into a list. All right. Okay, moving next. Virgo. Oh, before I go to Virgo, let me address with Anna. Anna, that is the opposite I said. Not hard work. Cancer will be able, you know, to accomplish big things with the minimum work required, but these processes are going to involve people, all right, that Cancer will have no positive emotional connection with. Okay, so it's like that's the balancing factor, right? Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a walk in the park for as far as the process go, but the process, the other people that are involved into the process are going to be people that you would rather not work with. For example, I know that you do have a beauty studio, right? People that are going to come to your beauty studio, not every one of them, but the majority are going to purchase, you know, one of the most expensive procedures. But, for example, they're going to be whiny, complaining, and in generally, you know, not unappreciative people. So you will have to endure their behavior, but you are going to make money out of it. That is just for example. If we apply that reading to your business, if you still have that business. All right, Virgo. 10 of Wands. 6 of Wands. 7 of Pentacles. Wow. It's really good for Virgo. It's hard work, guys. I mean, with 10 of Wands, it's a non-brainer. I mean, well, this card doesn't stand up much as a hard work as it stands that whatever promised must be fulfilled. So whatever you have prepared for, whatever you have, like I said, promised or you have signed yourself for, must be fulfilled within the next couple of weeks. However, for accomplishing it, bonuses, recognition, rewards, milestones, and if you do need help for something else, help, right? So great, even bigger rewards, amazing rewards at the end than you have anticipated. What else you haven't anticipated though is how much you must invest. So you have signed yourself for some kind of a project, you made an initial assessment, how involved you must be in it, you know, how difficult it's going to be. Slightly off though, because it will be a bit more difficult and it will require a slightly more investment of your behalf than initially anticipated. Okay, so that is what you need to prepare yourself for. All right, Libra. Queen of Swords. Knight of Wands. Queen of Wands. You know, the one archetype I don't want to be against is that one. Okay, that is the one archetype I don't want to be against. And you, my friends, are going to be that archetype. So what is that archetype about? Well, have any of you watched the show How to Get Away with a Murder? If you have watched that show, Annalise Keating, all right, the character Annalise Keating, it's that character. A character that always has the answer, and the character who is ready to do whatever it takes to protect those that I love, to accomplish results, and to prevail in general. Now, these two cards represent the sheer will to win, the astute sense, how to make that win happen, and also contains the readiness, and not just only the readiness, but as well the indomitable will to get there. Yeah, I loved it. I watched it 4 times, and it's an amazing show. Well, the last season, not that much. I mean, it kind of like, it was obvious that they are just trying to close it up. But the first 5 seasons, it was fantastic. And the Knight of Wands that stands next to the Queen of Swords, it only shows that now you have a lot more ways how you can do that. I mean your the options in front of you are gonna open up. Now, few cards are showing that options are opening up, but under a different circumstances. For example, Eight of Wands shows that options are opening up, but you can't take the wrong one. I mean, there are those that you can perform and those that you cannot perform, right? But they all are open for you, and you can get the wrong one and thus lose more than you can win. For example, Page of Wands as well can show a lot of options available in front of you, but many of them unexplored. Literally, there are many new of them that you just don't know how to handle them, right? Nonetheless, they are options in front of you. Now, Knight of Wands, though, all of the options that are going to be in front of you, you will be adept into them, right? So you will know what you have to do, you will know what you're doing. The negative side, if I can say it that way, with the Knight of Wands, it is that once an option is undertaken, all of the rest are gonna be closed, right? So it's a commitment. You choose one, you commit in it. You don't get to change your heart. The rest are not gonna be available for you any longer. So the key here for you, Libra, it is once you make up your mind, the key factor of this should be, am I willing to get to the end of it whenever you do make up your mind about it? Yeah. It was a great show. It was a great one. Scorpio. All right, the King of the Hill. Well, I can't watch shows that way, Pisces Moonbeam. I'm pretty much waiting the shows to pretty much be released the whole season, and then I watch the platform respectively. I just can't watch them week by week. It's not my thing. Eight of Wands. Page of Swords. Two of Cups. Ugh. I hate it when it happens that way. Very unexpected relationships, guys, or kind of like a potentials for a relationships. Very unexpected different characters and different people are gonna happen to become relevant in our environment, and how relevant it is up for us to decide. But bottom line here is that we do get, as a Scorpio, we do get to explore a lot more of the human nature again in different characters, which may ruin the build up until this point. Okay, so this is a decision that stands ahead of us. So whether we stick with what we like thus far, especially when it comes to a romantic definition. So if, for example, if you are dating a guy, right? I'm trying to apply the reading in a specific situation so I can make my points across. So if you are dating a guy and you like the guy and you want things to happen between you two, do not swirl with your eyes, because there are going to be a lot of different guys, right, that will happen to attract you, and that you are going to start attracting them. But whether things are going to work out or not, well, that remains to be seen. Okay, so that said, we get to choose as a Scorpio to be adventurous and to take a risk, because it's going to be a risk. Remember what I said about the Eight of Wands when I was talking about Libra. That is the primary setback of the Eight of Wands. Yes, you have options available. Things are very dynamic. They are just constantly changing. And, you know, if it doesn't work out with one, it's going to work out with the other, or it can work out with the other. But there are going to be those options which are leading to ruin, right? So Eight of Wands is not all of a positive card, especially when it comes to a reckless behavior. And if we do decide to go down that road, taking on a different option than the one we have right now, whenever we are to make a commitment, we should kind of like scale it with a clear-headed mind. No emotions whatsoever should be involved. And the reason for these new options that we are gonna have an affinity to seek out is going to be that the full moon in Scorpio, for us, Scorpio, is gonna open our perspective into that we just need some kind of a change. We just need, rather like, I don't know if it's gonna be a need, but we can experience something very different of what we have experienced up until this point. It's going to be attractive. It's going to be inviting, for a lack of better expression. One good thing, though, that can happen here is that if we do need help into something, a very, very unexpected one is about to arrive. So no matter how low you are, you may have hit the rock bottom, there is going to be an extended hand out there for you. That said, Lauren, what I like, or the best character in this, Laurel, oh my god, I kind of like, my thought went further than what I was about to say. Two of my best characters in this show was Laurel, or Laurel, and Frank. You know, Laurel was, I liked Laurel as a character because she could have been a queen for all she knows, right? but she chose to climb the ladder on her own, while Frank, he started his life onto Sub-Zero, and the life made him a monster, and he made the most out of that monster. He was. These are the two characters that I like in the movie, in the show. The main character for the first 3 or 4 seasons, which is Wes, I couldn't handle the guy, or I mean the actor. It was a terrible actor for that job. That's my opinion, at least. Usher was a cool character as well. But yeah, these are the 2 characters I liked in the show. Sagittarius. Knight of Pentacles. King of Wands. And the Page of Swords. Yeah, Frank was very loyal, though. I mean, he was a monster, but he was the most loyal of all of them. Even when he was incarcerated, he found a way how to help the situation. It blew my mind. I mean, because when he said, I'm going to fix that, how you're going to fix that? You are in jail. And he fixed it. That's kind of a person, that's kind of a guy you don't want to mess with. All right, for Sagittarius. Temptation, very big of one. Very big of one to change your plans within the next couple of weeks. The reason for it is that the full moon in Scorpio is going to affect you in a certain way that you may second guess the pattern, right? So say you have certain plans or you have certain ideas and they are patterns, right? Patterns in a consecutive actions that needs to be taken. And initially the pattern was very good, and it is very good up until this point. Now you may want to insert things into the pattern, and that's not going to work very well. It's going to be horrible. It's going to lead to disaster. So do not change your pattern. It's very important. Another thing that can help you, and something that the full moon will incentivize you toward, is a little bit more bigger simplicity, for a lack of better expression. A bit more austere life, or austere. I believe this is how you do pronounce that word. So a bit more austere life. And that will allow you to have more time for yourself so you can enjoy life the way it is supposed to be enjoyed. With a glass of wine after a hard day work, you know, and a hot bath, and, you know, watching your favorite show and whatnot. Just, you know, keeping the KISS principle is going to work wonders for you. And that way the tension of producing certain results will drop off as well. Not that these results are not going to be achieved and accomplished, but just the pressure of getting there will dramatically abate for you. And it's just next couple of weeks will allow you to be able to, how can I put it into words, structure it better, structure your relationships better, your job better, you know, your social life better, and so on and so forth. But don't give in to the temptation, okay, to jump from one idea to another immediately when it happens, when it pops up. Oh, and another thing for you, Sagittarius, do not let people to get to you, because that's going to be as well a thing. You will be how can I put it into words? I don't want to say criticize, because it's not going to be exactly a criticism, but you will definitely going to be taunted for the way you are, for the way you do things, right? For example, that you're way too careful, or you are way too set, or you are way too conscientious, right? Or you're way too perfect, way too immaculate. Don't give in to that. Just ignore it. Aquarius. Oops, not Aquarius, Capricorn, I'm sorry. I almost skipped one. Death. The world. Four of Pentacles. It's about time to throw away the garbage. Throw out the window, preferably. That's exactly what these cards are speaking about. That it is overdone. It's dead. Whether it's job, friendship, intimate relationship, idea, right? But it's pretty much going nowhere, and that is something that you can see, all right? It's not a revelation. It's just is going nowhere. Everything that could have been accomplished, it is, and now it's time for you to throw it away, right? Throw it all away. And doing so, that will secure your future. And you will see it by yourself. I mean, what these cards are referring to you for, because for some of you, Capricorn is going to be about your job, or it's going to be about an idea, or it's going to be, for others, it's going to be about a certain date that you have, or I don't know, God forbid, your family, right? But bottom line is that you are going to start seeing that things are in flux, and they just need to stop, okay? They just need to end. And there is no other way around it, because nothing more can come out of it. Okay, no different than, for example, being a lover and hoping that, you know, your woman or your man, whatever the case, is gonna leave his husband, her husband, or his wife for you. And they are keep on telling you that ain't gonna happen. You're just a mistress, or a mister, or mistress, male or female. Oh, and this is just the sex and whatnot. But you are hoping and hoping, and it's just this full moon in Scorpio is gonna shine on that. This ain't happening ever. Okay, and it's time to end. And doing so, that will ensure your future in intimacy, meaning that you will find someone that this time around will want to spend their life with you. And it's just how it goes with those three cards. All right, Aquarius now. Which two cards, Anna? The Death and the World? Ten of Wands. The Fool. Four of Swords. Yeah, Death in the World. Well, that's the end, pretty much. All right. If there is a combination of cards that represents the end, that's one. That's the one. Because nor the World nor the Death card on its own represents the end. They both can represent, one can represent a transformation. You know, one thing becomes another, while the other could represent a different perspective on stuff. Okay? But together, that's pretty much the end. Anyway, for Aquarius, a lot of free space on your hands. Okay, the full moon in Scorpio will present you with an ability for you to start new things. I don't want to say responsible, but let's say substantial new things, like a substantial new projects, like substantial new endeavors, undertakings, whatever the case. Okay, but you will find yourself being now free and capable to make a difference and to start meaningful things which have nothing to do with your past. That is very, very important. So let me give you an example here. You were overwhelmed by a recent breakup and you just needed time so you can start a new relationship. Well, the time is now. I mean, you're no longer going to carry on that burden into the present and the future, and therefore you are completely ready to make a new commitment, to make a new commitment that will produce something substantial, right? Or you now find yourself with a lot of free time, not because you don't have a job, but because you became more and more proficient at your job. And while before it was a hassle, now it's a walk in the park. And therefore you may undertake a new substantial project under your wing and get even more results and even more rewards. That's what we're talking about here, guys. And one condition is that you don't get to cut any corners. Whatever you decide to do, you have to go by the book with it. That is the only condition that we have here for you, Aquarius. But the world is your oyster. And hopefully you pick good for yourself. All right, Pisces. Well, define final. The world pretty much says that it is what it is, but it doesn't mean the end. For example, the world may signify that that's your family, all right? And that's pretty much it. And you are going to carry on with that family for the rest of your life. That is what the world represents. It does not represent the end of things. That's your family. It's going to stay that way for as long as you like, so you can turn your glance to new perspectives while having your family, right? That's how the world stands. It doesn't mean the end at all. Well, next to the death card, they are a passive friends. And the death card shows, you know, that, yeah, it is what it is. And it no longer is going to have a contribution to your life. So it's pretty much, it's over. Okay? Because the death represents that what you have no longer contributes. It's a dead weight and you need to change it with something else. But if we don't have the world, you can change the status, right? So you are friends with someone and that no longer works for either of you. I mean, that friendship is dead. It's a dead weight on you, but you can upgrade it into a intimacy, right? So that is how the death could serve. But if the world is there, it says it is what it is. That's it. That's you have friendship, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, and the death represents the dead weight there, so it's over, right? And you have to replace it with a someone new or a something else, but you can't have anything to do with the source of what it is. Okay, so that is how these two cards, that is what those two cards represent together, that is. Eight of Cups, Queen of Wands, the Fool. I hope it made sense. So this is how it stands, guys, for you Pisces. Have you watched, what was that movie back in the days? I remember, I think it was called Bruce's Millions or Buster's Millions. I don't remember. But basically the plot was that a pretty average guy, you know, it's contacted by a lawyer who told him about a distant relative, I think was an uncle or something like that this guy didn't had any idea of, but this uncle didn't have any other heirs, so in the blood chain, this guy was the closest one, and so he get to inherit that uncle. But the uncle in the will kind of like forged the game, and this guy get to inherit, I think it was a $400 million, or to take $2 million and just walk away. For the $400 million, there was a catch though. He has to spend $31 million in 31 days, but these money should not be spent on himself, right? Or by his own things or by his own needs or anything like that. So he needs to spend them for others. And that's what we have for Pisces here. So you get to choose whether you get an immediate benefits, okay, in expense of a bigger benefits that are gonna be in the future for you. But in order to get those benefits in the future, which are for you, you have to endure the current inconveniences, because you are about to have an inconveniences here for what those cards are showing. You're going to end up in a situations that you know they can be better, all right? You know it can be more, again, convenient and again, better. But you ain't going to be able to do anything about it without jeopardizing a future growth, let's put it that way. So that's what you're going to have right now. Another example, more in tune, okay, it is that you know that the guy you like is going to be with you, right? But that guy is about to be departed in the military, let's say, for a couple of years. So that's a big inconvenience. But you do know that there is another guy that, you know, want to give it a try in between you two, but you are not certain how much they love you. And it turns out that for them, it's just, you know, a side thing. For them, it's just a game. So you get to be in a relationship right now if you do choose so. That is going to be an unstable one, but relationship nonetheless. Or you endure the inconvenience and know that afterwards you're going to have a stable one that you can carry on for the rest of your life. All right, so in that line of development is what we have for you here, Pisces. Okay, so whichever one you choose, you're going to bear the consequences of it. So choose wisely. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for the 12th. Now the super chat. But a cigarette first, before I move to the super chat. Have you guys watched that show Suits? 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 Suits. Like, you know, Suits. Like a black suit. I like that show, you know, and the character of Louis Licht was my favorite one. Maybe I'm gonna watch it next. Again, for the 4th time, I believe. Yeah, Louis Licht is a monster. I love it. It's very funny. It's on your list? Well, you ain't gonna regret it. You know, I'm skimming the romantic scenes. I just don't care about that. I care about the problem solving. I don't know why in every show there needs to be a romance. I mean, if people gonna enjoy that, aren't they gonna just watch a romantic shows? He was more than funny, you know. I mean, the way he did things was hilarious. Let me get those babies into the box first. That's not true, News Devon. No, oh, you mean in that regard? Oh, I didn't. It was sluggish. It was way too sweet, and it was too much drama for that kind of a movie. And the problem with the drama, it was a repetitive drama. You know, the drama for the same goddamn thing 7 seasons. So if there is a drama for one thing, I get it, right? But then 2 episodes later to make it for the same thing, it's kind of like, right now I'm reading a book, and I hate the main character because he has a problem with his personality. Let's put it that way. He's a soldier, and he made a vow that he's gonna protect those who cannot protect themselves, and now he's torn who does deserve his protection, you know, the side he's on, but what about the other side, right? I mean, these people can't protect against him, And you know, he's struggling with this now 2 books, and that is kind of like it becomes a bit retarded, to be honest, because every time I'm reading about him, it's the same problem over and over again, harping for the same thing, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna just skim his chapters because it's annoying now. It's becoming really, really annoying. Yeah, well, that's good, but we don't need to be harped about. We get it, okay? We get it. The first time, the second time, the third time, we get it. You don't have to. I don't have to read 20 pages of it anymore. Well, at least right now, in the books, he gets benched down. So I'm not gonna read about him much for much until he finds a solution, like you said. All right, Yasmin. Thank God it's a big series though, and there are few main characters, so the series doesn't get boring. But reading about him, it's kind of annoying, very, very annoying. All right, Yasmin, these are the cards for you. It concerns your love life. It's quite difficult for explaining. So that's how it stands. This full moon in Scorpio. Mm, let's put it that way. You are gonna stop neglecting yourself for love. Okay. Or in other words, you are start to becoming a bit more. I don't know how the word is in the not the word is not independent. Oh my god, it's so difficult. Well, bottom line, okay, so the result of that it is that your partner will see that you aren't for granted. Okay, that you aren't for granted, and that it has to put a bit more efforts in it. Because what you're gonna start growing into, and you are gonna make a pretty good point of it, maybe through your actions. Usually people don't make that point through words, but through actions, that you're not afraid to be alone anymore, right? You're just not afraid of if that relationship doesn't work out. That is not to say that you're not going to put your efforts, but from now on are not going to be only your efforts, you know? And so this at least initially is going to have a quenching effect, because at least according to these cards, the other side is gonna put a true value on you and on the relationship you're in. And so at least initially, I think that a solid efforts are gonna be set on the other side, but ultimately you get to choose whether you are gonna continue with this or not. All right, moving next, Mattia. All right, Mattia, these are the cards. So a friend you have is gonna make you, or well, friend is not the only, how can I put it into words, affix, okay? It's a loyal person, let's put it that way. So it's a loyal person, most likely considered a friend, but it may be just someone who is loyal to the business you both have, for example. So a loyal person is gonna make an offer to you, and this offer is gonna carry on stability with it. So it's gonna be an offer, for example, for a very stable partnership or for a very stable business. It could be also for a stable, say, relationship, but the cards are more affinitive toward a business or something with a material incentive here. And rest assured, what we have it is that this person that makes the offer very committed, okay, very committed, very devoted to it. They can truly support your agenda, they can truly support your goal. You can expect very fruitful cooperations together, fruitful discussions, and a solid preparation. Basically, this offer will allow you as well, if you do have any business plans, to start those business plans. Basically, that's an offer coming your way that will be it will be a no-brainer to take. It will be an amazing one. Most likely, this offer is going to carry on a contract. Almost certainly. Hello, Nikki. I'm making readings for the patrons. You're welcome, Yasmin. All right, next, Anna. You want to know about your romantic life? Well, let's check it out. All right, Anna, those are cards for you. Those are cards. It's pretty simple reading, by the way. A story, it's not done. What I mean is that you and someone you have dated, you have been with, all right, it doesn't have to be that recent even. It's not over yet. And it will have its chance to renew by the mid of June this year. Up until then, nothing you can find better than that. Anything else, it will be just a uncalculated risk that is gonna end worse than that thing can end. That is not to say that it's gonna end bad, but it definitely can end worse. Let me put it that way. There are things you want, right, in one relationship. There are things you wish to happen in one relationship, and no one can make them better than that person that you have an unfinished storyline with right now. So be open to your exes for the next couple of months. And give these men a chance. Okay, a second or maybe a third one, I don't know, but you definitely have some unfound potentials with one of them, and you are basically gonna find a way how to materialize that by the mid of June. That is the near future for your romantic life. The best way how you can capitalize on your romantic life within the near future. I don't know, Mattia. Whoa, why the laugh? When is Mercury direct? Oh, it's 25th. Oh, I don't know. But could be. 25th is Thursday. Yeah, that could very well be a topic for life. All right, next. Taco. All right, mate, the first event that will be important for you within the next couple of weeks. Nikhil, no, I'm not doing charities here, so you can't ask a free question. Stop spamming the stream, please. So the first event. Will be actually concerning your health. I mean, the tree here represents health. And for what I can say, that is a something like a final diagnosis or a final treatment, because the star at the end represents a way forward. And the coffin, it's final, right? The rider, it's a news or a new beginning. So that is a final news beginning about your health for a way forward. So that is the only thing that comes to my mind. It is like a final diagnosis or a final treatment, a final I don't know, healing process, even, if you will, because the star promises a way through, a way forward that produces results. And we're going to check that with the tarot cards. Well, Anna, just, carry on with your life. And if someone you had close, or just be open for the man in your life, not new men, but men you already know, because X, it's not really everything that falls within the criteria. That could be a person that likes you, but they never made an approach, and you just have potential with them, but was never found it. So be open to make contact, or at least to give men chances up until the mid of June. Yeah, Four of Swords and the Queen of Swords are the two healing cards. Four of Swords, it is the first one. So it is about healing, considering that we do have the tree. So these three cards, Taco. And considering the other two here, okay, that represents a rapid one. That represents a rapid healing, but it does require a lot of movement, right? It does require a lot of movement and a lot of dynamic on your behalf. Again, tarot is not exactly designed for health here, but for example, you are prescribed to have a 20 minutes of walk every day. Okay, it wouldn't hurt you if they are 25 or even 30. But don't overcommit as well. So that is your first important event. And then the second, well, that refers to your love life. I mean, your wife is going to be happy for it. Those are the 4 cards for your love life. And this is a new promise. This is a new commitment, okay, out of love. So let's Let's check it out. A new vow, if you will. Let's check it out with tarot. You know, mate, I'm almost willing to make a bet that the vow is gonna go in a sort of those lines. I vow to make everything. How can I? What was the expression here? Everything of my powers to make you happy. That's going to be the vow, because what the tarot cards represent, it is the influx of happiness. What I mean is that, you know, two people are happy when they care for each other's happiness. What I mean here is that you care for your wife's happiness, and that way you are happy as well when you take care for her. And she is happy when she sees you happy, and therefore her concern, it is your happiness rather than her happiness. And through making you happy, she is happy as well. So the full moon here, at least according to my cards, grants you improved health and or improvement in health through your own personal efforts, and significant improvement in your romantic life as well, your relationship. All right, moving next. Nita. Guidance. You want guidance. These are the cards, Nita. These are the cards. So, what is important as a guidance for the full moon in Scorpio for you is not to speak of your plans, not to speak of your preparations, and in generally to do things, I want to say in secret. Let me try to tell you what I mean, okay? Let's say that you are unhappy at your work, and you have set your jaw into changing your job. Nobody needs to know that. Your colleagues don't need to know that. Your boss don't need to know that, because according to these cards, if they do find out, there is a very big chance to be just laid off, right? Here, what these cards are showing, it is that confronting your disgruntledness and your fears have a very big chance to pretty much ruin your preparations and your plans as well, okay? Or say you are planning to leave your husband, if that's the case, or your boyfriend, they don't need to know that up until the moment you feel ready to do it. That's another thing. And basically, whatever you are preparing for or whatever you are planning, nobody needs to know that until the very moment you're ready to act on it and you're ready to initiate. That is your guidance here. All right. Curious fishy. You have an idea. You want to know if that idea, what is the potential of that idea? So let's check it out. You're welcome, Nita. The idea is going to go well. So these are the two cards. Curious fishy. I mean, you have that idea and you have in mind, you know, how it's going to develop. You don't know even the half of it. Okay. I mean, this idea you have has so much more, let's put it that way, potential than you think it has. But this potential cannot unravel in the way you are going forward with it right now. There is something within the way how things are initiated, or the style that they are initiated with, and so on, that is problematic for that potential. For example, you're spending way too much money on marketing without having a product. That's an issue with the style of going forward with the idea. That is just for example. Okay, so it will be good to revisit how, as you are mentioning, it is in the work, how this work is going forward. Okay, and whenever there is a mundane problems, we're talking about mundane problems, right? Someone isn't doing their job on time and whatnot, you know, these things, they need to be replaced with a new style. Well, its outcome could be far better than you think it is, than you think it can be. All right. News Devon, what do you need to know? Let's check it out. These two cards, Page of Swords and the Nine of Wands, you can fit it in. That's what you need to know. You can fit it in within your current enterprises, plans, accomplishments, and so on and so forth. And we're talking about a prospect that you are either starting to think of or you are about to start thinking of. And this is going to be a different prospect. And I mean that the guidance is, what you need to know is that you can fit it in, because it's going to be by definition incompatible. For example, you know, you work very hard, you want to build up something big into your career, and you're starting to like a guy or a woman, whatever your preference is, all right? And this is incompatible with right now putting everything you got into your career. Well, the guidance is you can fit it in, okay? You can have your career, you can have your love life. Don't mix, and both doesn't need to mix together. You can definitely fit it in. So give things a chance. Yeah, it will require some adjustments, it will require some reshuffling here and there, but you can definitely fit it in. That is your guidance. Use the phone. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your generosity, and hopefully we're gonna see each other next time. Until then, bye.